Every Minecraft mob has a weakness. Some are obvious, some are significantly less so, but today I'm going to be showing you 20 of the most dangerous mobs you'll be fighting and their hidden weakness so you can take them down a lot easier. By the way, if you like this sort of video, consider subscribing with notifications turned on so you can learn more about Minecraft and its various updates, but let's start with the most common, interesting, dangerous mob because the Enderman is one a lot of people are frightened by. You see it and immediately it towers over you, it has this terrifying noise, and so what do you do about it? There's 3 easy ways you can take down the Enderman with basically no risk to yourself. The first thing is the fact that he's so tall. Part of what makes him so intimidating is this height, but he's so tall he can't go into gaps that are 2 blocks high, which means if you have these super low ceilings, you are 100% safe from an Enderman. If he comes towards you, he won't be able to get you. He can walk around all he likes, but he's not going to have access to you, and so you can just attack him safely from inside here, which is really wonderful in my opinion, and now the Enderman is gone. I mean, he's teleported away, definitely not a problem anymore, and so the second thing you can do is just stack up. I'd say this is the most, this is the easiest thing to do if you're in a situation where you really are, you don't have a house, you don't have a way to make a structure real quick. Just use 3 blocks and then immediately stack yourself up. An Enderman cannot jump 3 blocks high, and he can't attack you using his face, at least not yet, and so even if you look at the Enderman while you're on top of here, unless he teleports up here, which is incredibly unlikely, you are going to be very, very safe, and you can take down the Enderman, getting their lovely pearls, or making them teleport away at least. And so the final thing you can do for the Enderman is a really handy one too, because they actually do teleport away when there's water. See, look at this, by the way, very terrifying, but he's already dead. So here's the most terrifying one, or the most useful one, if you are just in a hurry, you're in a panic, like I was right there. Place down a water bucket and Enderman will teleport away instantly. It's really handy, and it works not only for the Enderman, because they, again, like if you're standing in water, the Enderman won't be able to teleport to you because they'll immediately teleport away, therefore they can't attack you, but it also will work for the Shulker. One of the Shulker's hidden weaknesses you might not know about is the fact that they absolutely hate water. In fact, water is your way to kind of protect yourself, because while you're in water, the levitation effect does not apply, which means that you can just stand here, right in the water, get your damage done, and wow, what's that? It doesn't affect me because water cancels out the effect of levitation, which is basically their only real attack. You can also use an Elytra or Ender Pearls if you're a bit further in the game, because even if they knock you into the sky, you can Ender Pearl to entirely cancel that out. One of the funniest facts about Minecraft is one of the easiest ways to prevent yourself dying of full damage is to cause yourself to fall slightly faster using an Ender Pearl. It doesn't make any sense, some might say, but I love it regardless. And so yeah, if you get knocked up by a Shulker, consider Ender Pearling yourself away. I'll actually prove that right now. You see how this effect's about to run out? I'll throw an Ender Pearl now, and then as I float up, I'll float barely up enough for it to be a real problem, and wow, we can now finish it. Because I'd say the easiest thing to do in most situations is just bum rush the Shulkers, but if there is a lot of them, bring a water bucket. Honestly, water buckets are handy for every situation in Minecraft. Like the next mob, you obviously couldn't bring a water bucket there, but attacking wither skeletons would be really easy if you could. All you need to do is get in a passageway that's 2.5 blocks, and wow, wither skeletons can't go this way. Wither skeletons are also 3 blocks high, and given that you're in a nether fortress, which is very easy to make 3 blocks high, that's what I always like to do to take down wither skeletons. You just get them in a place where they can't attack you, but you can attack them, and then they'll die nice and easy. The 4th mob, we're going, by the way, in reverse order here from the end to the nether, is the blaze. The blaze would be really easy to take down with a water bucket, but you can't use that in the actual nether, and so what I actually recommend is get some good distance, enough distance that they won't notice you, and grab some snowballs. Snowballs deal 2 damage to blazes. They're the only mob in the game that take actual damage from this, and it means that as long as you're outside the aggro range of the blaze, you can attack the blaze while he can't attack you, and it's it's like having a bow, but it's specifically for the blazes. I think it's such a cool weakness that they have, and I love to take advantage of it. Just like how I love to take advantage of the 5th mob here, Magma Cube. So this one's a little bit trickier because you need to have a bucket with you, which is filled with powdered snow, which is a resource a lot of people struggle with, but powdered snow is the easiest way to take down Magma Cubes in my opinion, because they just fall into it, they take damage, and now they're gone. This can be tricky for some people, and so for those people I say, avoid Magma Cubes. You kill them, and they split into more Magma Cubes and then more Magma Cubes. If you just keep on running, you'll have a better time than trying to kill every single Magma Cube that you see. Unlike, of course, the Hoglins. Hoglins you can run away from, but you might regret it. Instead, I recommend, just like with every good mob, you stack up to get away. That is a Hoglin. He does not like me. He's going to turn into a Zoglin real soon. But if you can stack up 3 blocks, and 3 blocks without, obviously, them having a way to climb up for you. But if you can stack up 3 blocks, you can actually be 100% safe from this guy. It is a little bit of a tricky one to do while you're being attacked, I will totally admit. But 3 blocks up is all you need to be safe from a Hoglin or a Zoglin. In fact, I'll show you that with a little bit more grace. So this time, when we're being... Oh, okay, no, we're not safe at all from the Zoglin. So, as you can see, the Hoglin is chasing me. You just want to get away from him such that you can place your blocks and be 100% safe, and then stand away from any edges where he can climb up and get you, and then attack him from there. As you can see, he wants to use the edge of the block so he can attack me there. So I guess stack up an extra block. What are you going to do now, Zoglin? You can't do anything? Yeah, that's good. You're dead. Yeah, so Zoglins as well, by the way, is another mob. Your 99% of you will never face a Zoglin in actual survival, but now you know how to kill it. It's exactly the same as a Hoglin, just a little bit more terrifying looking. Speaking of terrifying looking, the most terrifying looking mob in the game has to be the Wither, right? So many people, you know, especially the Bedrock Wither, which is what we're talking about today, it's one of the most dangerous and terrifying mobs. What do you do about it? The Smite enchantment and some strength potions. This is actually something you have to watch out for a little bit. So first of all, again, make sure you put Smite on your Smite on your stuff. I'll put it here on my... Can I put it on my sword instead of sharpness? No, we have to make sure we're replacing something else with it. So we'll put Smite on our sword, just like this. So now we have Smite on our sword. I've got a Strength Potion ready to drink. This will give me a big boost to my attack. I mean, Strength 2 is a really, really nice boost. And now we can summon in the Wither. Again, the Bedrock Wither has one thing you want to watch out for. You could just do brute force damage to it. Also, I guess 2 things. When it spawns in, it does a big explosion like Java, but also halfway through killing it, it'll do a big explosion too. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you just run in here, get your attacks done quickly. The Wither can only fly up so high, so if you have some form of bedrock ceiling above you, like in the Nether or the End or below the portal or whatever, you can do that. But then when you're about to hit half health on the Wither, you want to switch out to any form of ranged weapon. You can use snowballs if you really want. It won't do much for you, but you want to make sure you get the halfway point on the Wither done with a ranged weapon. Why is that true? Well, the Bedrock Wither has a really fun quirk to it that you might not know, and that fun quirk is this. There is a secondary explosion, followed by a summoning of wolf skeletons, by the way, and now that we've done that, we can go in and just go bum rush the Wither. Having Smite on your sword and having a Strength Potion is just the cruise control mode to get this done easily. Having good armor and also eating, super necessary as well in my opinion. And yeah, I would totally recommend that you just charge in there, get it done, nice and easy. I actually took a surprising amount of damage there. Just a reminder, bring healing and bring strength, and if everything goes crazy and hard, then try easy difficulty. Speaking of, by the way, I do have to mention the Warden will decimate the Wither, but also I have to mention, obviously every single mob in Minecraft has the same weakness, which is you switch to peaceful mode, because on peaceful, all hostile mobs despawn, and then when you switch back to easy or normal or hard, like, by the way, I just fought the Wither on hard, didn't realize this map was on hard difficulty till just now, so yeah, that is a thing that you can obviously do, but I'm talking about in-game actual solutions that are clever, rather than, you know, it's not cheating, it just feels a little bit weird. Speaking of not cheating but weird, Bane of Arthropods is the exact opposite. There is no good scenario where you want Bane of Arthropods on any tool ever, let alone a stone sword, but let's craft it today so I can show you one of the wonderful things, which is that the easiest solution for spiders in Minecraft, as well as cave spiders, is Bane of Arthropods. If I attack it with even a stone sword, Bane of Arthropods does so much damage to every single mob that even a stone sword, actually, let's try a regular spider just to be sure, but even a stone sword with Bane of Arthropods on is enough to take down every single one of these, which is really, really nuts. Regular spiders also can't fit through 1 block wide gaps, it's worth mentioning. And we have spiders, by the way. There we go. So, yeah, as you can see, 1 hit kill on every single arthropod in the game. That is the spider, the bee, the cave spider, the silverfish. Honestly, why does Minecraft have insects, and why do we have an insect-specific enchantment? I don't know the answer, I just know it's very easy to kill them, and also, for spiders, it's easy to avoid them, because they can't go through 1 block wide gaps. You know, this little, place right here is effectively a prison for regular spiders. It's not for cave spiders. Watch out for cave spiders still. But it's basically a prison for spiders, and you should watch out for... Oh, God! It's not a prison for spider jockeys, but that's a separate point. So let's go in there, let's take out the skeleton, and now the spider is trapped in prison. So yeah, if you ever want to make a spider cage, you don't even need to fill in the gaps. Speaking of not filling in the gaps, the Warden is definitely the most terrifying mob, as far as most people are concerned, but it's really easy to avoid in the late game. You find yourself an Elytra in the end, and then you use some firework rockets, and you get really far away, because my god is he terrifying. He cannot attack you when you're really far away, 28 blocks I think is that. Well, once you get far enough away from the Warden, he's not a threat anymore. This isn't an easy way to kill him, but there is no point in killing the Warden besides pride. And if you want to kill the Warden for pride, then you'll enjoy the fact that it's so tricky. So let's just wait for him to vanish and maybe head over to the next thing here. Yeah, you wanna keep some more distance. So yeah, let's actually, oh gosh, let's... It's just so terrifying when the Warden's coming towards you, and the simplest thing to say is just you need to get out of there, and that's why you go up, and then you wait patiently, and then he gives up on you. And wow, just like my father, it's gone and it's never coming back. Anyway, the 11th one here is the Pillager. Pillagers are super dangerous. Even on the easiest of difficulties, they do so much damage, but there's one fatal flaw in their strategy of, seriously, the way they attack you is so annoying. They draw back a crossbow, then randomly at some point fire it at you. It's very hard to avoid unless you've got a shield. Have a shield, crouch down, and then you're entirely safe from their attacks. And even better than that, they'll fire their own arrows back to themselves. Unlike most mobs where they'll just be bounced off and you have to attack them yourself eventually, a shield alone is enough to take down an entire Pillager fortress. Seriously, you don't need a weapon, you don't need any of these things, you just need to have a big blocking shield. A big blocking shield will not help you, however, against a witch, because the witch uses magic attacks. So just to prove that point right here, Ellen is going to attack me with poison, and wow, there's nothing I can do about that. So the easiest solution to this is to use range attacks, of course. If you attack from range, it goes very, very easily, but obviously you're still going to be poisoned, so this is why you need to... Wait, this is why you need a milk bucket. So yeah, if I was to drink a milk bucket right now, wow, all of my health problems would go away. Also, undead mobs are positively impacted by the witch's potions. You can use this to your advantage, or you can just know that if there are any zombies around your witch, you should keep them far apart, because otherwise a harming potion or a poison potion might do positive things to them instead. But yeah, range attacks, if you're far enough away, okay, just to show you this one, if you're far enough away from a witch, it can't hurt you. So I'm just going to use my trident, because I think the trident's a way cooler weapon. The witch cannot throw a potion outside of potion throwing radius, and so yeah, it is a little bit tricky while she's chugging those potions. But as you can see, I avoided everything but the weakness right at the end there, or the slowness rather. And yeah, with that said, the 13th, you know, I'm quite unlucky right now, you might say, but not as unlucky as zombies or skeletons. So the easy way around a zombie and skeleton is use smite. Smite on a weapon is very, very, very powerful. It goes without saying. However, the undead mobs, just as you can see right there. However, it is worth mentioning that positive potions will actually harm zombies. So just to show you something fun right here, if we spawn in one of these mobs, and let's say we do a little bit of damage to it, now I can finish off the mob by throwing a potion of health at it, healing me and hurting the zombie or the skeleton at the same time. So zombies and skeletons are in the same category here. I will say skeletons are obviously a lot more annoying for most people. If you are annoyed by skeletons, if you have issues with them, either smite to get up close, or if you're at a distance, use your bow, because you can attack from further ranges than any mob in Minecraft can attack you. Besides maybe the dragon, and even that's just because she flies so fast. Anyway, zombies are dumb. Anything is their weakness. I totally agree with that one. Realistically, no one's ever worried about zombies, but you might worry about skeletons, and that's why you need smite. Sharpness swords are great for things like the creeper. For real, look at this, by the way. Can one-hit KO a creeper with a Sharpness 5 Neverite sword, but let's just assume that you don't have a Sharpness 5 Neverite sword, or you wouldn't need to know the creeper's weakness. So, yeah, if you are if you are playing on Bedrock, one of the things you can do is you can just spam hit the creeper. Attack the creeper 3 times with an iron sword, and the creeper is dead. So 1, 2, 3. As you can see, everything's wonderful. But the other secret to the creeper's weakness is that actually the creeper dies when it explodes to try and hurt you. Obviously, it does a lot of damage to you unless you run through the creeper, activating the explosion and being just at the edge of its blast radius. If you're curious what that looked like, I'll sprint through it right now. I'll take, what is that, a heart of damage, maybe 2 hearts at the very most on hard difficulty of no armor, but as you can see, everything is fine and the creeper is now gone. Killing creepers is often best done by letting them explode, because not only do they explode and go away themselves, but they'll explode and attack other mobs at the same time. Actually, wait, let's prove that one. Let's combine, a zombie over here with the creeper. So I don't want to kill the zombie. Let's just say that I'm being attacked by a lot of zombies. I'm kind of panicking right now, and then I see a creeper at the same time. What do I do about both these mobs combined? It can be really, really good to get the creeper in front of the zombie, let the creeper do his damage, and then finish him off yourself. It's or even just let two creepers blow him up. Creepers will blow up other creepers as well, and I think that's really handy. Actually, wait, I want to show you that. Sorry, this is meant to be a linear video, but I'm sticking with it this way. So here's a creeper, and here's another creeper, right? We got two creepers, and wow, they sure are terrifying, aren't they not? But as you can see, creeper damage affects other creepers, which means this guy can now be killed with a single hit much, much easier. So use creepers to damage creepers. It's a good idea. Also, if they're in water, they don't damage blocks around them, so that's how you protect the world, if you didn't know that one. So yeah, with the next one, we got the Iron Golem. Pro tip, just build. Like with everything else in Minecraft, if you are 3 blocks above it, there's basically nothing it can do without ranged attacks. This is an Iron Golem, this is me running away from an Iron Golem, and this is me having 3 blocks in the sky. Okay, well, clearly not. And this is me having 3 blocks in the sky from which the Iron Golem can't get me. At this point, I can literally punch the Golem with a carrot, and no matter what I do to him, as long as I don't go more than 1 block down, I'm going to be entirely fine. So yeah, I totally recommend just get, even if you've got an Iron Sword or a wooden sword or whatever it is, you can deal damage to the Iron Golem this way. Or, like with every other mob on this list, if you attack it from a ranged distance, it can't do anything about it. For real, if there's an Iron Golem coming after you, because, let's just say you don't like Iron Golems, then all you have to do is get to a space where he can't come through, i.e. less than a 2x3 gap. Well, I misjudged that angle right there. And yeah, you can attack this guy from a distance over and over again, and as long as you don't let him get within melee range, he won't melee attack you, surprisingly enough. And it's a really fun fight, in my opinion, to do it with a trident. Honestly, the trident is the most fun weapon. We can all agree on that, right? It's always impractical sometimes. Put loyalty on this thing, and you have a good time. So now that you're like, oh god, what if he gets me? This is where you stack yourself up, and you can finish it up the normal way. Or finish him with a range attack. It's up to you. It's a lot of fun either way, and yeah, it's very beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, the next mob here is the Evoker. The Evoker has a really interesting attack, which is this weird spike thing that exists nowhere else. They can also fire off vexes, but basically, the Evoker has a big weakness in that this attack only goes in one direction every few seconds. If you can dodge one of these attacks, you'll be fine, because you can just charge in and finish off the Evoker. You might say, oh, that's because you had this Netherite sword. If I show you the Iron Sword, the more fair example, we dodge one of these attacks, and then we run in there, and we do the exact same thing. It just takes 4 hits instead of 3. Now I have 2 totems of undying. Look at that. I'm ready. I'm back with my full Let's Play gear all of a sudden, as we move into the 18th one here, because Guardians, obviously, the easiest way to kill them is if you got rid of water. Do you have any sponges lying around? If not, you should. But if you have some sponges, you can just drain away the water, and then any Guardians that are lying around will start to choke to death. That's the easiest way to get rid of Guardians. The other easiest way to get rid of Guardians is just to make sure you have no line of sight between you and it. Guardians have a magical laser beam attack, as you can see, but it only works when there's a direct line of sight. So yeah, that's a pro tip right there. Also, other pro tip is getting close to them might be hard. They do damage to you back, so using range attacks is great, but regular range attacks don't work. You usually are going to want to have a trident to throw at these guys instead. So as you can see right here, every time you see that laser beam getting strong, just kind of get away from the Guardian. Just let it happen, and then you can use a trident, because a trident will go through water with the exact same speed and damage, and will allow you to take out the Guardian a lot easier than you could with a bow and arrow. Seriously, bows and arrows, they suck pretty bad for this sort of thing. Anyway, with that said, the 19th and perhaps most important one here is Silverfish. There's such a big problem, both in real life and in Minecraft, and so my pro tip is to kill them with fire. If Silverfish spawn, make sure they die in a big, painful fire. Or more seriously, make sure you have an iron sword or above when you attack a silverfish. Don't attack a silverfish with a diamond shovel. I know this is the best tool in Minecraft, but if you attack a silverfish with anything less than an iron sword or a stone sword and a critical hit, then the silverfish will put out its alert attack, and every other silverfish in the vicinity will come and attack you. So that is our 19th mob. You might be saying, wait, where's the 20th? The 20th is the most fearsome mob of them all. I know you're thinking about it right now. You're like, oh god, this has got to be a big one if it doesn't even have an area. But when it comes to killing the bat in Minecraft, perhaps the most scary of all of them, the best thing you can do is the moment you hear a bat noise, you run away. You run away as fast as you can. There's no killing the bat. It is unstoppable, and no one even knows what a bat drops. It is, if you try to look up what the reward for killing a bat is, it's unknown because that's just how darn good they are. But more seriously, jokes aside, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting. Again, it's been like 5 or 6 years since I made the original version of this video. A lot of things have changed about various mobs, and I hope that you found it interesting to learn more about this stuff. I also, I decided not to go for a few things like, you know, everyone should know that knockback on a creeper is good. I decided to try and give as low-tech solutions as I could, so that way if you're starting a new world, you should be able to do basically all of these from scratch, besides smite or sharpness, which, you know, that will help you out a lot too. But speaking of being helped out a lot, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, because I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.